Ms. Janet Ang.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to join in this debate. The current situation is very concerning on several counts. Firstly, the increased number of persons being scammed to release their Singpass and or personal banking credentials, and the value involved is cause for grave concern. Secondly, that Singaporeans are becoming money mules who knowingly participate in the criminal activities involving their Singpass and or personal banking credentials is even more concerning, as it points to potential waning of Singapore's high-integrity value system. Maybe I'm watching too much MediaCorp, but are we seeing the return of trites, only this time trites in the digital skin? So with the amendments to CDSA and CMA bills, it will give the appropriate power to the authorities to take action, and I hope will also deter persons who think this is easy money, recognize the severity of their actions. Now, at the same time, we do not want Singaporeans to lose confidence in moving to digital. Digital is here to stay and, in fact, will accelerate and become more pervasive in our lives. So it becomes even more important for Singaporeans to be digital first, even if not digital only. And a minister has assured us in previous speeches that for Singapore, we're definitely going to take care of those who are less digital savvy, but doesn't mean we're going to go back to the old ages of totally non-digital, just because we have such situations going on. Now, that said, I do have a few questions for the Minister. A, what are the challenges envisaged by the Ministry with regards to enforcement of the law, and how does the Ministry intend to address those challenges? B, there has been a lot of efforts in driving awareness of importance and responsibility of protecting one's digital identity and digital footprint across the board, from banking, access to social media, etc. What else is the government planning to do to increase effectiveness of these initiatives? And what else needs to be done by the banks, financial services institutions, the community, and the rest of government? Now, is the government considering additional levels of authentication, for example, using biometrics identification, AI-generated questions to authenticate that the individual using the identification is really who they say they are? It is probably no longer secure enough to use a login with simply a password and an OTP. All this, of course, leads to more costs being involved and more steps, but looks to me that this may be required. So how is the government planning to fight this kind of crime? D, as this inevitably always involves the banks, the proposed setup of COSMIC, the FI to FI information sharing services platform, which will be debated under the amendment to the Financial Services and Markets Bill, will, I believe, be pertinent because everything flows through the banking system. Now, in lieu of COSMIC going online, what data will the government use to strengthen enforcement of this bill? E, enforcement of computer misuse legislation can be challenging due to several factors, including, of course, the rapidly evolving technology. So how is Singapore planning to keep pace with new forms of cybercrime and methods of committing offences and enable MHA to be able to identify and prosecute perpetrators and the syndicates involved? And of course, F, with the internet enabling global communication and transactions, as we have seen in past cases, the cybercrime often occur across multiple jurisdictions, making it challenging to identify and prosecute offenders. How does MHA involve Interpol and their overseas counterparts to ensure that the bill can be enforced effectively? G, most important are the poor victims. The victims need to be protected as much as possible, and where possible, the victims are supported as much as possible with recovering the monies that have been scammed. What else beyond the initiatives already in place will the government be planning to put in to put into action that can help the victims recover as much of the monies that have been scammed. And perhaps a little bit of compassion from the banks would help, because in fact in 2021, a very good friend of mine, had somebody, her friend, who was totally scammed, and then the bank locked down all her bank accounts, and she's left, going to borrow money from other friends. So certainly we hope that, we need to have a little bit of compassion for the victims and ensure that there is a systematic approach to helping them and supporting them. But of course, the most important help is to tell them not to give away their identity. So in conclusion, to overcome these challenges, MHA and the Anti-Cyber Scam Center Singapore, as well as the CSA, need to work closely with technology experts, cybersecurity professionals, and other stakeholders like MAS and the banks, as well as international communities, to stay abreast of emerging threats and develop effective strategies for preventing and prosecuting computer misuse crimes. This will involve investing in new technology, enhancing international cooperation, and improving training and resources for all personnel involved. Notwithstanding my clarifications, Mr. Deputy Speaker, I stand in support of the bill.
Minister Josephine Teo, would you like to adjourn the debate?
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the debate be now adjourned.
The question is that the debate be now adjourned. As many as are of that opinion say aye.
Aye.
To the contrary, say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Resumption of debate what day?
Tomorrow, sir.
So be it. Leader of the House.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of Leader, I beg to move that Parliament do now adjourn.
The question is that Parliament do now adjourn.